Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer Hale and I'm going to be your geometry instructor for your online class. And I was just going to kind of show you how the class works and show you kind of what is expected of you. So first of all, you will get to your class by going to the Northwest homepage. Let me move this a little bit out of the way, okay? And then I have to log under the staff, but you'll do the Canvas link under the student side. So let's get logged in. Now, most of you will probably save this login information on your home computer, but make sure you do memorize it, know what you put as your password, because you will have to have that to sign in when you come to campus to take your midterm and final exams. So make sure you have that memorized. All right, so you will go here to your courses, and here's our geometry course. Now, I'm giving this introduction video during the summer of 18. You might be taking it in a different semester, but everything works the same. Just don't pay attention to the dates, but it all works the same. Okay, so on the home page there are information. There's some information about me, and there's links, times listed on how to email me, and office hours. I'm not going to be in my office this summer very often, but I will make sure on Thursdays between 10 and 12 I do check my email quite often. If you've got a different semester, especially one that's a fall or spring, then I'm in my office all the time, but I'll definitely check my email every day. And then you obviously clicked here and you got the video. You are going to, let me real quick switch views, because my class looks a little bit different than yours. Let me get to where my screen will look more like yours. Okay, so here is the student view. You are going to do everything pretty much under this modules tab. And there's two ways to get here. You can click that modules tab right there, or you can hit that start here button. Either way, it takes you to the same place. Okay, at the top there is just the that's required to be in here. It's the e-learning offices orientation kind of module, how to do things. You know, they want you to go through it. It's a good idea. You'll take this orientation quiz. It is not a part of your grade. Anyway, but it does tell you how to do everything, but you don't get a grade for that in my class. What's really important is that you go to this course introduction page, okay? This has everything that you need to know. It's got everything about me. Make sure you do this in the purple. It said you should definitely print out the starred documents. Like the first one is the geometry course outline, but you can download it and print it off. But it has got how the class works. It's got the grading policy. It has got the calculator policy. Be aware that we do have a calculator policy for this class. Only one of these three models is allowed, or a lesser model. When you come to campus to take your midterm and final exams, the proctor will check your calculator. So don't be using a graphing calculator and get so used to it that you can't take your midterm or your final exam without it, because you won't be allowed to. This third model, that's my favorite. I think it's the most user-friendly. Okay. Let's see. It's also got the dates of the midterm and the final in here. It's got everything you need to know about the My Math Lab. And again, like I said, the grading policy, all that's listed in there. Okay. So print out that document and keep it handy. Right, and then there's the syllabus for this class. You probably won't ever look at it. It's just got a list of topics that we cover. Here's how the course will be graded, if you want to look at it. Response time with email, attendance policy. Make sure you check out the attendance policy, because it's different from the summer as it is in the spring and the fall. Definitely print out number 3. These are directions on how to register for My Math Lab. My Math Lab is a big part of this class, and your homework counts as a lot, so you want to make sure that you do it. If you already have a My Math Lab account, you'll be fine, but if you don't, you'll set this up. You can do a temporary 2-week trial period if you don't have your book at the beginning of the class, and you think, oh, I can't do my homework yet until I get that access code. You can set up the 2-week temporary access. You will need a course ID for this class. Here it is right here. Now, again, if you have a different if you're in a different semester other than the summer of 2018, do not put that course ID in. Get the one from your class. But there's good directions on how to do that. Textbook information, and then again the course outline. It's going over the grading policy again. Printout number 6, the due dates calendar. Very, very important. Summer moves very quickly. It'll tell you, you know, for what week. It'll tell you the due date. So on June 3rd, you can tell that you have 2 quizzes due, the Getting Started quiz, the Lesson 1 quiz. You have a discussion board due. But you can look, you know, it's got the midterm and the final exam dates. Again, if you're in a different semester than the summer of 2018, you will have completely different dates. But that's will all be listed in that due dates calendar. Print that out and make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do each week. And then there's information on proctored exams in there. So that course introduction page has everything you need to know. Right underneath that course information introduction page, there's where to find what in this class, and that is again a pre-built e-learning office document and page, and that you probably don't even need to go look at that. All right, so on week 1, module 1 and module 2 were due. So, you know, you can look at this Getting Started lesson. There's no math in it. It's just kind of going over everything from the class. All those documents that were linked, and we looked at them and they are linked again. I want you to get registered for my math lab. Here's technical support. I can't answer a whole lot of technical support questions. You're going to have to call them, unfortunately, but they're really good and very helpful. The due dates calendar again, and do that discussion board. And then once you go through all that, here's your first quiz. It's no math on it. It's just making sure you understand how the class works and you have the important information that you need. So do that. First quiz is super easy. And then after that, the math starts. So that first week, you've got that Getting Started quiz due, and both of these discussion boards are due. You have this lesson 1 that's due. And so I'm going to tell you what sections we cover out of the book. I'll tell you what examples to look at that are really good to review. And then these are video lessons where they go through, and they're pre-built by my math lab, but they're really good, and I'll teach you how to do the problems. And then after you watch that video, you'll click on this My Math Lab link, and again, you'll have your account set up. I'm going to sign in really quick as me so you can see what everything looks like. Let me get really quick signed in. Okay, and so you'll go to our class. You won't have nearly as many classes listed as I do. Let me find the summer one for us. Here we go. And so the only thing that we do in my math lab is homework. You'll click the homework tab, and it'll give you all the lessons. These are all the lessons that are due before the midterm exam, and so you'll just click on the one that goes with whatever you just did. My math lab is great. I want to show you a couple of things about it. I don't want to do this question because I don't want one that has that many parts, because I'm going to show you something. Let me find, again, a lot of parts. Hold on. Here we go. Let's see. I'm just going to make, and obviously this isn't the right answer, but when you're working it out, you know, it'll tell you if you got right or wrong. You get 3 attempts at each question. So let me just, I'm putting in things that I know are wrong. So I want to show you this. So if you happen to miss a question 3 times, you want to hit this similar question, because you can work this over and over and over again until you get it right. There is no excuse not to have 100 on your My Math Lab. This grade really, really helps you. So you can work things over and over again. There are question helps over here. I really like this view and example because it'll give you a very similar question, and you can see how they did it, and then you can kind of go and translate that into do yours. If you choose Help Me Solve This, it will help you solve this question, but then it makes you do a brand new one. So I think that view example is a little bit better, but anyway, all that stuff will be listed. Make sure that you have all of your homework assignments that are done. So you'll have a first half that's due before the midterm, which are these sections, and then after the midterm, a whole second half will pop up and you'll do those. But no excuse not to have 100% because you, like I said, can do these over and over and over again. Use those helps if you need. And so then you'll do the same thing for 8.2. There's some videos if you want to watch them. They're not required. You can just kind of do the view and examples and teach yourself through MyMathLab, but if you need some help, watch these video examples. They're really good, and you know, look at the examples that I tell you to look at out of the book, you know, and this tells you, hey, the MyMathLab homework works like these problems, you know where to go. So each time you just hit that link and it'll take you there, and then once you've done your MyMathLab homework and you feel good, you will go to your lesson 1 quiz. It's locked right now. It won't open until the first day of class, and so, but you get 2 attempts at it, and quizzes are between 5 and 10 questions, and you can do it twice, and they have a time limit on it, but you'll do all that. Okay, so each week you'll have 2 modules to go through. So the first week is Module 1, Module 2. Make sure you complete those quizzes, and then the next week you'll do Module 3, Module 4. You'll take Lesson 2 quiz and Lesson 3 quiz, and you'll keep going like that. I do want to point out that I have a midterm exam review. This is really important that you look at it. There's a practice midterm exam, and then I turned around and I worked it all out so you could see my work. You can take this practice midterm exam over and over again. It looks very similar to your real exam. And then if you get stuck on the questions and how did you get that answer, then I have it all worked out right there. You will also need to have some formulas memorized, and so I tell you what formulas to memorize and where to find them, and there's a bunch for the midterm. There's not really that much for the final, but you have to have a lot memorized for the midterm. So I would take some index cards, write it down, and make sure that you have them memorized, and you will use them a whole bunch in the MyMathLab homework, so they'll be really familiar to you when you get ready for it. I also have one of these when it comes time for the final exam. There will be a final exam review that is very much the same way, that you have a practice final exam that you can take a couple of times, and then it's worked out. I don't think there are any formulas actually to memorize at all, but I will be adding, it's not here right now, it seems like the probability questions are very, very tough for people on the exam, so I did, last semester, I made an extra video with some extra probability practice on it, and kind of walked you through it just like a video like this, where it's me talking and me teaching you what to do. So look for that. It'll be there by the time your final exam gets here. And then when you do come to campus to take your proctored midterm and final exam, you can find those at the very, very bottom. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk to you about. You know, you can hit that grades tab and it'll show you your grades. If you are from a different school, you will sign up to take your exams through the Smarter Proctoring link. We do not have an ebook, so you won't be going to the bookshelf at all. But anyway, that's I guess that's all I really wanted to point out, but make sure, you know, you're doing everything through this modules tab. Print out that due dates calendar so you know what's due each week. Good luck, guys. Thanks.